Hey there, HR professionals, executives, and leaders. Wanted to go live just to provide you guys with a bit of information. I actually worked with two new clients in this week who are small business owners, and they were talking to me about what training program should they implement. One of them only has about 5 employees, and then the other has, I want to say 7 or 8. And so I was talking to them about core training programs that you should implement that should be implemented in every organization across the board as foundational training programs, that if possible, you should do them every year, if not twice a year, to make sure that everybody in your organization gains access to them. Because understand this, and these programs are programs that are critical to overall organizational profitability and performance, right? Because a lot of times we get caught up in training per department or per individual needs or what have you. But there are some foundational trainings that you really should implement every year that should be a critical part of the onboarding process, that should be staples within your organization. And again, every person within the organization should go through these trainings each year. What are those trainings? Number one, we know without a doubt, leadership and management training. I don't care how smart you are, how strong you are as a manager, you should be required to go through management training. And and one of the things I always tell organizations is if your leaders are that profound and that strong, they should be helping and be a major part of, providing that training. So include them in that training process if they are that strong as leaders and they are just, saying, well, I already know this stuff. I've been through it. I've done it. Then fine, utilize them as, actual trainers to actually deliver that information and train other leaders to be as strong and as profound as them. Because even in going through that training process, they will be learning. In addition to that, so leadership and management, because we do understand that there's a huge leadership gap. I went to an HR conference, and one of the things that they talked about was the major gap that is going to really start to show itself over the next couple of years in leadership. So it's time that we get ahead of that curve and not only just train on top of the dysfunction of leaders, but we get to the core of what makes a real good leader, and then we train from the core and build out the tree. And so with that being said, I really challenge you guys to get to the heart of leadership and stop just training on top of the dysfunction that exists amongst leaders. In addition to that, dispersonality training. Dispersonality training is critical for every person in your organization. It really helps you to understand who you are, how you are, why you are. But in addition to that, it also helps you to learn how to work well with others on your team. It helps you to learn how to better communicate, how to leverage your strengths, and really how to identify your weaknesses so that you can actually do better in those areas as well. Dispersonality assessments offer so much insight if you are willing to go beyond just the information that is acquired from them. So I really challenge, and really the DISC personality assessment trainings literally could run you all year. You could literally do a 15-session training on DISC and touch everything from communication to learning to, how you think. The DISC profile allows you to get really deep, but it helps you to build up your employees, not only from a professional standpoint, but from a personal standpoint as well, which will ultimately help them to be better team members and better leaders and managers. Another one, customer service engagement, and as well as client communication, engagement, and actually service. And so we understand the importance of that. I don't need to go deeper into that, but every year you should be training your employees or your team members on specifics concerning how you handle your clients, how to engage them, right? Their responsibility to serve the client. Like, these are very critical things to set the foundational principles and expectations on interactions with clients, because it's so easy for us to start treating clients the way we want to be treated, or the way we think they should be treated, versus what the organization standard is in regarding handling, communicating with and servicing our customers. Number 5, negotiation and buying skills. One of the things that I have seen consistently over and over throughout my years of being a corporate trainer is the fact that there is no negotiation or buying training within organizations. It is rare. I've seen it one time, and because I implemented, they allowed me to implement it. The other times when I actually brought it up, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't necessary. Oh, but it is. Because one of the things that people aren't really mindful of is that if you don't train your team members on how to buy, how to negotiate, they're going to negotiate and buy according to how they would in their personal lives. And some people have dysfunction in their personal lives. You do not want them handling your business the way that they handle theirs. And so with that being said, I always challenge organizations to train your team members on the way that you have established as your standard operating procedure concerning negotiation and buying. Do not leave that open to interpretation for your team members. Two more to leave you guys with. Sales on all levels. Okay, we've gotten really good at training our sales professionals, but sales happens on all levels. So it's critical that you have sales training on all levels, because even being a brand ambassador for the organization, a lot of opportunity is missed because we want the sales team to just be the, to be the epitome of what drives sales in an organization, not understanding the impact that customer service has on sales, not understanding the impact that accounting has on sales as it interacts with our vendors. So it is important that you train in sales on all levels, okay? And then finally, I'm going to leave you with this, and it's a huge one. It's not last because I thought of it last, but crisis prevention training. And I'm talking about everything from diversity and inclusion training. And it's not just enough to talk about black and white and brown and all of that. Like, it's time for us to get really deep concerning diversity and what that really looks like, and inclusion training, what that really means from a customer standpoint, what that means from how we engage in the workplace, because now there are more workplace lawsuits than ever before. And this is why also harassment training is critical under that crisis prevention. And not only just sexual harassment, but I'm talking about quid pro quo. I'm talking about bullying in the workplace. All of these trainings, and what quid pro quo, I always mess it up. Quid pro quo, I have to slow it down, means favor for a favor. You do something for me, I do something for you. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. We have to really train on all of these things because lawsuits are at an all-time high. But in addition to that, one of the things, cyber safety and security, and not only that, but proper use of our internet, proper use of computer systems, proper use of phone systems. Again, your team members need to understand your standard according to operating and being a part of your organization. So I really challenge you guys to consider all of these 7 trainings as being critical staples to implement in your organization as a means of increasing performance and productivity throughout the entire organization. For more information, or if you need training support, you can definitely reach out to me at www.movebeyondmotivation.com. You can also reach me, you can contact me at 469-910-5564. I am available for contract training. I am available to speak at conferences or different business events as well. My heart is for training up trainers. I love training trainers. I love leadership. So my heart is for leaders, whether that's in the teaching capacity or in a management supervisory leadership capacity. They're in training up holistic leaders that are divergent, that are bold, that are innovative, and that are creative. And so with that being said, you guys have an amazing evening, and we will be back with more training and teaching tips that'll help you to increase success in your organization. Good night.